Hey guys and gals, welcome to the very next video. Inside this video, we're going to talk all about what products that you can put into your SLO funnel and finally get this thing all launched and ready to rock. You've watched a few videos now, and this is one of my favorite videos because this is kind of like a brainstorming breakdown, as I'd like to call it, to where we can actually try to figure out what products or services that you guys are going to be putting into your SLO to make this thing all work and have a finished product by the end of this course. So again, I understand so many different people are going to be watching this video from every different background you could ever imagine. Some of you are in e-commerce, some of you are course creators, consultants, maybe you own a local small business, whatever the case may be, maybe you sell SaaS even, whatever the case may be. There's going to be a different product that you guys are going to be selling. Each and every single person watching the video, everyone's selling different products. So I really wanted to just kind of have this brainstorm session on the iPad and just kind of break down different products that work really well for SLOs and also products that don't work so well for SLOs. So that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in this video. Now, before I go on any further, one thing for sure that you want to, I just kind of want the gears to start spinning in your mind of what type of products we're kind of looking for. And essentially the products that work really, really well with SLO funnels is a product let's just say that you have a course. This is the best way I can explain it. If you have a course, this big core offer, your main big thing, okay? You want to slice off a sliver. I've said this before, but you want to slice off a sliver, but not just one sliver. You want multiple slivers that you can slice off. This is exceptionally the reason for this is because we want the front end offer, which would be our $7 product, maybe that, we're getting people into our SLO funnel. But then we also have order bumps, and we have upsells, and we have downsells, and we have all these other things that we also want to sell. This is really important because this is how we get our average order value to increase. The higher we get our average order value to increase, well, essentially we're making more money, right? If you have more things, you're going to make more money. And there's a percentage of people that will buy them, and there's a percentage of people that will not buy the product, right? And it's exceptionally important when we're running paid traffic. If we're running paid ads, there's, essentially how much does it cost us to get somebody to opt in and then go through the stages of purchasing our upsells or downsells, all of that stuff, and come out the other end. If we're spending, let's just say $100 a day, which, I'm just throwing a number out there. We're spending $100 a day on ads. We need to get $100 a day back from all of our sales, right? So that we essentially do not have to put our ads on a credit card and wait 30, 60, 90, 100 freaking days to get our money back, which generally is the case if you're selling any type of high ticket products right off of an ad. This is why SLO funnels work so much better, because we just are acquiring customers. We're acquiring customers for free and hopefully are profitable even of the back end of this specific funnel, okay? So what we want to do is we want, again, we already have a product. We want to take little slivers of it and we want to basically sprinkle them throughout this funnel, okay? It's very, very easy to do this if you have a course of some sort, okay? Because you could just slice off a video, one to three videos, and package it up neatly and call that a specific product. We talked about the, in the demo, we talk about the guitar lessons, right? So if we have this big master course that we once put together, right? And it teaches how to string a guitar and play power chords and how to play your first song and all these things. Well, we could, essentially just slice off one of those and just say, hey, here's a course on how to string your guitar, right? So you string the guitar, you get it all, working the way you want. I don't know what I'm saying. This is kind of funny. Tune your guitar. That's the word I wanted. So you string your guitar and then you tune it, and then you have your little tuner thing, and then you hit the chords, and it's essentially teaching a person how to tune their guitar. That could be an entire little mini course. It could be 3 videos, right? This is how you string it. This is how you use the little tuner thing, and whatever whatever. But that is a course of itself, and you could very easily sell it for, let's just say, $7 to $27, right? And that would help somebody that, is just starting out with guitar. That would really help them, right? So, the thing is that the building blocks to your SLO funnel is this essentially solving little micro problems. The bigger the problem, the more you can charge, okay? The bigger the problem, the more you can charge. It does not have to be a 30-hour master course, where you're teaching every single little minute detail. People actually don't want that. Usually in the very beginning, they don't want to, let's just say, again, like they don't know you, trust you, respect you. So they don't want to invest a whole crap ton of time. Like all these people that say, oh, it's a 17-hour master course, or it's a 50-hour, there's 70 videos. People don't want that. People want a very specific solution to a very specific problem. And on top of that, they don't know you, trust you, respect you. They have no idea. Like if you're the guitar master, they have no clue who you are yet. So we just want to give them little bitsy pieces of the puzzle. And once those pieces are put in and they have the full puzzle and they basically solved their problem, well, guess what happens? Usually a new problem comes up. There's always going to be another problem. Once you learn how to string your guitar and get your guitar tuned, well, now what? Well, now we need to learn how to play power chords so that we can sound like a rock star. And once we have power chords, now, like we kind of like, like the next step would probably be like, how do we actually read sheet music and stop messing around with these goofy power chords, because the power chords are silly. Like we actually want to play like music, and we want to, be in a band someday or whatever we're trying to do, right? So it's little bits and pieces that get them to the main goal. In our example, if we're running if we're selling a guitar course, well, at the very end, the person wants to know how to play a guitar, right? They want to be able to pick up any sheet music and just learn how to play that music on the fly. They want to sit at a campfire, they want to impress their girlfriend, and they want to play on the acoustic some amazing song, and wow, everyone's amazed, right? That's what they want. So think long-term into this, okay? And the long-term part is super, super important. When you're building these SLO funnels, and we're going to come up with how to actually craft the little products along the way. But what I want you to think about is, what is your main core offer? Okay, what is that? Okay, so is it this big guitar course that you're like this big thing from like an A to Z guitar course? Like this is how you string it all the way to this is how you play every single Metallica song ever made, and you'll be a master once you get out. What is the end goal that potential buyer, what solution are you essentially giving that buyer? Okay, so think of that core offer, and that's what I really want you to be thinking about when we go through the mini offers. The mini offers sell the core offer. Okay, so you have to have these multiple mini offers. That's again how we're going to break even on ads or social media for that matter. So you don't have to spend all day making videos, but we want to focus on that core offer and work backwards. Okay. Focus on the core offer, whatever that is, whatever that big idea is that you have, or that big juicy product that you have, and work backwards. Maybe it's a high ticket product, right? Maybe you are an agency and you want them to sign up for like a done for you package. Like you want to build all their funnels and their Facebook ads, and you want to manage it for them and all these things, right? Well, you don't just sell that right on the front. No, you might have like a little, let's just say you have a done for you ads package on the front. So they click on the ad. It's like, hey, we'll create your ads, write the copy, and launch them for you for $97, something like that, right? And once you have that person that comes in and buys that product, then what we can do is we can start either sending them emails. We can, we can get them on a call, like let's say on the thank you page, like we talked about earlier. There's multiple ways to then get in contact with them and provide that little mini service, let's just say, and then sell them on the much bigger product. Okay. There's a variety of ways you can do that. You can do that with a simple Zoom call. We could do that with a course where we're just suggesting inside of the course, to buy the more expensive course, or to hop on a call or get a private lesson, whatever that may be. So I want you thinking about your core offer and then work backwards, okay? So that big core offer, take a couple slivers off of it, and those little slivers are gonna be your mini offers that we're gonna be selling on the front end, which essentially is your SLO funnel, right? So let's hop into the iPad and let's just kind of brainstorm some ideas. Again, like it doesn't matter what niche you're in, what industry you're in. We're going to talk all about that inside of this video. Let me get my thing set up here. Okay, guys, now that we're inside the iPad, first off, I want to emphasize, try to keep your products in the $7 to $97 range for this front end product. For your SLO funnels, keep it between $7 and $97. Don't be trying to sell a $5,000 product or anything crazy like that. $7 to $97 is a really good price range to be. And reason for it, it's a low risk commitment. And on top of that, most likely, they don't have to ask their wife, for permission, or they don't have to ask their husband for permission, right? It's just, it's a $7 product. They can just buy it. Like it's supposed to be that spur of the moment, like no risk, very simple, easy peasy, like I'm not losing anything, like if this thing is junk, right? That's what we want. Because again, they don't really know you, trust you, respect you yet. We're still like warming them up. And that's the whole point of an SLO funnel, is that we are trying to attract buyers, and those buyers then become our super leads. They're like super leads. After somebody spends even just $1 with us, it's just so much easier for them to buy higher ticket products and more products of ours. And that is only because they had enough trust, respect, and rapport with you to whip out their credit card and make a purchase. It's the highest quality lead you could possibly get your hands on, okay? So we've already talked about those things. Let's actually hop into what I should sell. What should you guys sell? Well, again, like there's different flavors of this, and this is why I wanted to do this video and just kind of break down, because I know so many of you guys are in different niches. Now, I'd say out of all of these, the two easiest are probably e-commerce, info courses, and consulting. And here's the reason why. Now, we were already talking about courses, so I'll just elaborate, just to get this one cracked out. So for courses, it's very simple because you have some kind of special talent. You have a specific industry that you've worked 9 to 5 at. You have some kind of special skill. You know how to play the guitar. You can help people. You can teach people how to play the guitar. Whatever the case may be, right? So that being said, let's just say that you make a guitar course. Okay. And I've already elaborated on this a little bit, but you have this guitar course, and inside this guitar course, it's like step 1, string the guitar, right? Step 2, learn how to play power chords, whatever it may be. Okay. But you can branch these guys out, and instead of just like one step, you could just have this to be, you could just have this like we just mentioned before, like a guitar tuning. So this would be like a guitar tuning course. Okay. And this would be like $7, okay? So there's product 1, okay? So now we have our first product. Now what we could do is we could take our step 2, and these, we want the basics. I mean, you could go all out and really overdo it on this, but that's not essentially what you want to do. You want to keep this very simple. Keep this to like 1 to 3 videos. Okay. And again, this is just like if we're talking courses. Okay. And I'll show you like e-commerce, retail, local biz, SaaS, like all these other things. But we want to break this down to have multiple products. Okay. And that's kind of the goal. And the reason for that is, remember, on the sales page, more specifically on the order page. Okay. On the order page, what are we selling? So like if that $7, whatever that $7 product is. So think about this for a second. Whatever that $7 product is, let's just say it is, 3 guitar lessons. Okay. And that's $7. Okay. Now, the thing is that if it's a course or e-commerce or some other, I can't write here. If we're able to do if we're able to try to figure out how to put together multiples of the product, we can really have a highly scaling SLO funnel, okay? And what I mean by that is, let's just say this is like 3 guitar lessons. Maybe we have, this is like the basic plan, and it's like 3 guitar lessons. Then we could have like the pro plan, and this is like 6 lessons, okay? And that's like, I don't know, like $14 or something like that. And then we have the master, okay, lessons. And this, is, I don't know, like 12 videos or 12, like a 12x course or something like that. You see what I'm saying though? And I'll just do like 27 or something. But the thing is that when we have And this is right on the order page, right? And you have like your bumps down here. So like when you have these breakdowns like this, the thing is almost no one takes that $7 offer then. They take the 14 and they take the 27, right? It's really amazing. This is actually the small, like the lowest thing that sells almost always. If you do it right, and like if you guys have questions about this, you know, if you hop into Funnel Visions, we meet every single week. We talk about this every single week. I can break down your numbers and we can go from there for what you should be pricing your products at and how to do a little bit more on the this is called a quantity order break discount. And the reason for that is sometimes what we can do, and it's more prominent with e-commerce. I'll show you how that works. But I like to have usually 3 products right here, and they kind of fight for each other. This is how you can get the higher ticket, okay? Or, you know, it's low ticket, but like how you can get higher ticket prices, right? And it's very important to do that to increase your AOV, your average order value. This is how much on average a lead spends with you that purchases, right? So if you think about this, and actually before you think about this, let's also draw out the order bumps, okay? I usually do, me personally on this, since I'm trying to break even on ads so desperately, I usually do 3 order bumps, okay? 3 order bumps. And again, the order bumps, the key with the order bumps is that these order bumps should perfectly align with the products up here. They should supplement them, okay? If you are selling 3x guitar lessons, what else does this person need? What would be the most logical thing that this person would need? These order bumps, think of it this way, and like you've probably heard this before, but an order bump is essentially like you're standing in line at a Kmart and you got all your stuff. Kmart, this is fun. You have all your stuff. It's on the conveyor belt going down, and you're looking at this. You're looking at the Snickers candy bar, and it says 99 cents. And you're like, well, it's only 99 cents. I throw 2 of those in, you know, and that's what an order bump is, right? So it's just like that little extra throw into the cart, and it increases that average order value, which is extremely, extremely important. Okay, you would be amazed. Like many funnels that I've launched, I actually will become profitable at this point using paid ads. Okay, I'll break even. I'll be close to break even here with my paid ads. Okay, so I'm still losing a little bit of money if I'm running paid ads, but generally speaking, this is where I break even on those 3 order bumps. Okay, and that is because the take rate on order bumps is so big. Like usually I can get, I can get, you know, usually 20% to 30% of all people that come through and buy anything, they'll also take the order bumps as well. And usually if it gets that high, I'll increase the price, and we can talk later about pricing. But let's just be simple here. This is about what should I sell? Let's stay on the same page here. So if we're selling, you know, these guitar lessons, right? What would be like a good order bump? Well, we could sell an e-commerce product. If we wanted to really switch the game up, we could sell like 3 picks. Okay, and you want to get these 3 like custom picks or whatever it may be, and that's another $7. Okay, they get 3 picks for $7, and then you ship them to them or something. I usually would recommend, if you're try to keep it info like only, if you're selling info, digital products, courses, that kind of thing, try to keep it, you know, because you don't want to have to deal with the shipping and everything like that, and it's not necessarily worth the $7, and you know there's margin and all that. So if you can keep that to, let's just say, an info product, that is usually the best. And we'll talk about the e-commerce version in just a second here. So that being said, what would I do for this? You know, I would probably have maybe some kind of, one of the first ones, I would do some kind of like mini course, okay? Just a mini course. And this is an exact problem solution, okay? Like whatever that may be. So for guitars, once again, like if this is the guitar lessons up here, maybe these lessons are like play your first song. Play first song in 7 days. Okay, maybe that's like the product that we have. Okay, and there's like multiple lessons in here to play more songs. Okay, well the order bump then could be what I was talking about before, which would be this is how you string the guitar, and this is how you tune it. Okay, and that product is $7 to $14. You know, I usually try to keep these pretty low. I mean, I'm again, like we'll talk more about pricing, but usually the bump I try to keep the bump price very, very similar to the offer. Okay. So if it's a $7 product, I like to have like a $7 bump in there. And if you get anything higher than a 20% take rate, usually I increase that. Okay. So like if 20% of the people are buying that product, I usually increase the price. Then I go from 7 to, let's just say 9, 14, something like that. Okay. And then, number 3, or I'm sorry, number 2, I can count, right? So order bump number 2 might be something else. Like, it could be like power cord, I can't erase. What is going on here? Okay, good enough. We'll call it like power cord maximizer or something like that, right? And that'll be like, again, like maybe $7 to $14. And then it could be like a checklist. Guys, this is hilarious. I used to sell checklists for like $37. My chicken scratch is really coming out on this video. $37. Like, Craig, why would anyone ever pay $37 for a checklist? Well, it's a really good checklist. I showed you one of my e-commerce products before. It was that luggage tag. Well, I sold as well in my bumps. I sold a packing checklist, okay? And I had 3 of them, okay? I had 3 packing checklists. One was just a regular packing checklist. I had a kids or like a baby checklist, like for like a checklist for like, if you're traveling with kids. And then I also had a pet one, like if you're traveling with your dog or something like that. And I sold the package for $37. This thing crushed. It had to have been at least a 20% take rate on this checklist. It's just like a simple checklist. I made it in Canva. It was amazing. That did really, really well and helped me break even on ads and then, of course, sell higher ticket products. Okay. So I just want your mind thinking that way. And that's, this is kind of like a breakdown. It's again, to give you some ideas of what to actually sell. So that is kind of info. And again, like if you're not doing courses and you're, let's just say, doing consulting, you could do roughly the same thing. If you want to get people on the phone, it's going to be harder to get people on a call right here. So I'd still do a course. Courses just work so well. If out of all of these guys, I'll be honest, you don't have to do courses, but they just work so well because what is it doing? A course, and it doesn't have to be this elaborate, huge course. When I say course, it could just be a little mini course. It could be, 1, 2, 3 videos per se, right? And what's so amazing about a course is that you can directly solve a problem a person is having. Okay, if you're a consultant and you help people, if you fix people's Facebook ads, right, and you have like this big I don't know, like you're charged like $2,000 a month or something like that, or $3,000 a month to manage people's Facebook ads, right? Well, wouldn't it be a good idea to educate them on your program, but also teach them at the same time? So you're not actually pitching like your actual service, but you're helping them like, hey, do you have, it could be like, I don't know, something specific. Like when I did Done For You ads for the last agency I worked for, there was 3 big pain points. It was installing your pixel. It was what audience should I use and how much should I spend per day on my ads? Those are the 3 big things. So right there, that's 3 courses right there, 3 mini courses. And, it could be like one course could be 3 videos on how to set up your pixel, 3 videos, how to choose the right audience, 3 videos, maybe just 1 video on the correct budget, but you could elaborate more in different niches and things like that, right? And there you go. There's 3 $7 offers. You want lots and lots and lots of products is what I'm trying to say. The more products you have, the more of this dance you can do, okay? And the more of this dance you can do, the higher that AOV goes. Okay, what kind of A is that? The higher that AOV goes. The higher the AOV goes, the more money you make, right? And the faster you can break even on those ads, okay? So we want lots and lots and lots of products, as many as we possibly can do. It doesn't have to be crazy, but, again, if you can do a setup like this where you have 3 up here and 3 down here, we also need those one-time offers as well. So OTO 1, and then OTO 2, and then OTO 3, okay? Wow, I just cannot write when I do these videos. Now, here's the thing. I need to break this down too. Like, there's a lot in here, and this can take time, right? Like it takes time to shoot a course. So that's what I don't want you to do. I do not want you to spend all freaking month shooting like this whole extravagant course. You actually don't need to. Look what I'm doing right now. And you can't see it behind the scenes. If I had a mirror, I'll just show you right now. But I have an iPhone hooked up to some lights and a cheap microphone. I'm not doing anything crazy. I've done the fancy DSLR things and all that, and then they overheat, and then it pisses me off because the video's gone. So I just use my iPhone. I don't get crazy with it. Okay, and it looks all right. So the thing is that I'm just, and I use a software called OBS. I just hit the record button, and that's how I can like put the iPad on, and like I can shoot a video for you guys. Just tag me in the help desk group, and I'll show you how to do this. But the point I'm making is that I have my iPhone hooked up, and I'm just teaching you stuff. Like this doesn't, like it takes time to do it, but like I don't need to like edit the video or anything. I'm just talking to the camera. I'm just teaching how to build an SLO funnel. It's nothing fancy. It doesn't take long to do this. Okay, so all you have to do to make a course is just put together, get your notepad and write out guitar lesson number 1, guitar lesson number 2, guitar lesson number 3, and then just take your iPhone, hit the record button, shoot it, and upload it. Do not spend all day on this. It's a $7 product. You do not owe them that much. Like, I'm just going to be honest, like it's $7. Think about that. You do not owe them a 50-hour master course. No, it's $7. Offer, and then just let's be reasonable here, offer 10 times, at very minimum, 10 times whatever your price is. And that's kind of like a good rule of thumb. So if it's a $7 product, try to offer even more. Like offer at least 100, make it like worth $100. Put a lot in, make it worth $100. So if you're gonna, do a course and it's, let's just say 3 videos and how to, do X, Y, and Z, would that be worth $100? If like, are you solving an instant problem? And is that problem like how big is that problem? The bigger the problem is, the more you can charge for it. Okay. And I've said this before. If it's how to string your guitar and how to tune your guitar, and this person hasn't done that before, and they don't necessarily know how to do that, or maybe they've been doing something wrong. Here's the thing. Like, would somebody pay like, let's just say $50 for that? Like, would they pay $50 if somebody personally show them, hey, this is exactly how you do this, this, and this. And like, that saves time and money. They don't have to go and get lessons. They don't have to drive to a store, like a Guitar Center or something, and learn how to play with a guy, and then they teach them like hands-on. Like they could do that, right? But you might as well just show them in the course, and then they can at least get the hang of it, and then you upsell them, of course, like like a private call or something. So that being said, and also like one other thing, all these products, you don't have to create all these day one to launch. Like when you're starting out, just do one of these, okay? Just do one of these to start. You can add on to this later, okay? You don't have to do all this at once. Of course not. It would take some time. The key is to get it launched as fast as possible so you can prove that it works. Like if you start getting sales on this, which you should, all right? If you did have, if you use my templates and you got this all set up, you shouldn't have any problem getting sales as long as, it's you're teaching somebody how to do something and it's solving a big problem. You should be able to get some sales if you follow these videos, okay? Do the first product and then later on do the second. After you prove it, after it's working, then do the second one, okay? Then do the third one. Same thing with the order bumps. You do not need an order bump day one. Get one product up. Launch it with your ads, your social media, or whatever you guys are using for your traffic sources. Get the thing up and see if you can get your first sale right away. If you don't get your first sale, then you need to go back to the drawing board and you need to fix your copy, your sales page, whatever it may be. And you can hop into Funnel Visions. Again, like we do calls every single week. Share your screen and I'll take a peek at your numbers and I'll try to optimize your funnel to see, I will optimize your funnel and we will find out why it's not working. And the numbers don't lie. We'll find out very quickly. So if that's interesting to you guys, you can hop onto Funnel Visions and I'll just take a peek at your funnel. I'll just tell you exactly how to essentially set this up and how to optimize the thing. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, you don't have to, same with the OTOs. You don't, just create one product. And after that one product, you can take them straight to the thank you page and just get the thing launched in an afternoon. Okay? These look, if you have a little bit more time, right? Then, maybe build the second product. Maybe build like your first OTO, right? Put the thing together, get it launched. Just get it launched. That's the key. I have friends at these agencies. I've had friends that have spent over a year trying to put one of these together. Why is it taking them a year? It's because they created giant, and I'm guilty of this too, they created master courses that are 70 videos long and have every little inch of detail of everything, and then they launch and it flops. That's really sad. It's really sad. You don't want that, and you don't want to put yourself in that position. That's why you want to create video one on a little mini offer, launch it. Just create 1 to 3 videos, launch it. You can add on to it later, okay? You can add on to it later. And, and the best part is if you're using ads, and I talk about this in other videos, but if you're running ads, the thing is that you could run, let's just say, you have one product, run it at, whatever you guys, your budget is, but I call it the $100 test. So you can't really do this with social media or any other traffic sources, but you can do this with paid ads. Take $100, invest it into ads, run the traffic to your offer, just for just $100, right? And you will immediately know if it works or not. If you get a sale, if you don't, it's $100 in spend to get one $7 sale. If you can get a $7 sale, you might have something there, right? It has legs. If it has legs, then go out and go start. I'm erasing stuff. This is getting awful. Then go essentially make your additional products. Okay. So hope that helps you guys. Do not get stuck in that 1 year thing. Oh my goodness. I've been there too. Like my very first course took me a long time to put together and it was foolish. Don't do that. Just 1 to 3 videos, launch it, test it, $100, bingo bango, see if it works or not. Okay. The $100 is worth every cent. You want to spend $100? You want to wait a year to find out if your product works that you just spent an entire year of time dreaming about, hoping to become a millionaire, right? Don't be that guy or gal. Next. So that's courses, that's consulting. Again, like consulting, I think we mentioned here, but it's usually like, I still like to do a course, warm people up. And then inside of the course, I just suggest to hop on a call with me. That's all I'm trying to do inside of that course. Here's the thing, guys, too, like this is another thing that I should point out. The whole point of the SLO funnel outside of breaking even on ads is also warming people up. And I've talked about that in many videos, but we're warming people up. We're building trust, respect, and rapport inside of our deliverables, whether that's a course, it is a e-commerce product, whatever you guys are selling, like if you're local, small business, and they're coming in for the first time, we're trying to, again, build trust, respect, and rapport. And inside of that deliverable package that we have, again, the best example would be like a course. Inside the course, we're warming people up, but we can also suggest other products and services inside of that course. Hey guys, now that you know how to play your first song, if you want to hop on a private lesson with me, I'm going to teach you how to play the next 3 songs. Okay. So you're warming people up, you're delivering the product, and then you're also ascending people into your higher ticket products. The key here is getting them to consume the product. If they do not do this, if they do not consume this, if they buy it and they don't use it, you'll have a very hard time getting them to buy the high ticket product. Okay? You'll have a very hard time selling the high ticket product because they didn't use it. Sadly, you will find a lot of people do not use their product. Okay. They'll buy it and they'll never use it. It's amazing like how many people that is. It's a lot of people. But here's the thing. They are still buyers. There are still very high quality leads. Buyers, the best leads, right? So inside of the, it's inside of my Rockstar templates that I have, the elite level, I actually give away all of the email automations. Okay. And I could show you guys this, inside of the help desk if you're interested, but if you go to the sales, actually there's a link below. If you click on the link below, you'll see all the emails that are included with the elite level. But those emails, there's a post purchase sequence in there. So after they buy, we send them the purchase email and we say, hey, thanks for buying the guitar lessons, right? Thanks for buying these guitar lessons. This is how you can hop into the course now and use your product that you just bought, okay? And then what we do is with the emails, we warm people up by sending them an email every single day. Hey, welcome to lesson number 1. We're going to teach you how to string your guitar. And then day 2, hey, welcome to lesson 2. This is how you do this. Welcome to, day 3. And what that does then is that gets people to consume, I thought I was writing here, that gets people to consume the product. If they consume the product, they will buy the high ticket. A percentage of them will. That's how it works, because that's the whole point of all of this. We want to build trust, respect, and rapport, and we can't do that if they don't consume the product, okay? So another fun little rabbit hole that we found ourselves in, as always. Where are we? So info, info, courses, consulting, that's how you sell digital products. I mean, if it's any kind of info and you're teaching somebody something, you're probably going to have a course. You might be doing consulting. Another one to look at too is also in the info space, that is doing a community. I forgot to mention that one. So, I do help desk, and then that's like my free, my free community essentially is where I put all my courses in there. We have the actual community itself where you can ask me questions, you can tag me, you can tag other members, you can meet other like-minded people that are also into and interested in the same things that essentially you are into, which is obviously around your product or service. And then also you can, that's even almost better than an email list, right? Because that is your warm audience. That is the audience that trusts, respects, and likes you, right? And it's all in one place then. And they can get live help from you anytime. You can do live calls in there, that sort of thing. And this community aspect is freaking amazing. And, like you've heard of Skool probably, like Skool, you've heard of them. If you're using Go High Level, which I don't, most of you probably are using Go High Level because this is the whole template's built on High Level. They obviously have their community, right? And that's what Help Desk is built on, is built inside of the Go High Level community. So you can set up your little community. It's all included in the same price. So like, why wouldn't you do that? Add a community. I'm telling you, community is an excellent resource to add on to consulting, add on to courses, or any info product that you do, okay? You should almost, and really for all the categories that I have listed here, all these, you need a community. You should be doing a community, and they're super easy to set up. Like it took me less than 3 minutes to set up my community. Okay. And I have like hundreds of people in there. Okay. I have my paid community, which is Funnel Visions, and no shameful pitch or anything. We're talking about communities, but Funnel Visions is just it's a monthly program where you pay every month, and every single week we meet up live. Every single Wednesday we meet up live, and I, jump on Zoom with you guys. And you screen share, I take mouse control, I fix your funnels, we go over all of your ads, anything that you're stuck on with Go High Level or with your SLO funnels, whatever the case may be. I'm just there to serve you. I'm just there to help you out. And we do that for a few hours every Wednesday. Very simple, it's awesome. And if you guys haven't joined yet, use the link below. No shameless plug. I'm just saying, you guys need a community. It's an amazing way to build that trust, respect, and rapport, and really shine and really be able to break into any niche or industry, the industry that you're trying to break into right now by creating your SLO. Okay. So next, let's hop into e-commerce. Now, e-commerce is the easiest of all of them, but it's also the hardest one to break even on ads with most of the time, okay? Let me explain. I don't know where I'm gonna put this. Let's just try to do it down here. I'm sorry, guys, this chicken scratch, I know it kind of gets out of hand here, but this is how we're doing it. So e-commerce is kind of interesting. You already have seen like the SLO funnel. So I could draw the whole thing up, but I just want to save some time. You have the ad goes to an opt-in, the opt-in goes to a sales page. Actually, in our case, it goes to like a VSL. I would almost always recommend just a simple VSL explaining whatever they got for free. The VSL goes to a sales page then goes to order page, and then OTO, and then thank you, okay? Now, the thing with this, when you're selling e-commerce is really easy to sell. It doesn't matter what product it is, but where people goof it up, like the number one goof that I see, first off, Shopify, where you're trying to sell 1 trillion products at once. Do not sell 1 billion products at once. Don't even sell 5 products at once. Sell 1. You've heard, if you've been into drop shipping at all whatsoever, and you're like an AliExpress queen, look, like do not sell 50 different products at one. Do a 1 product store. And when I say one product store, I'm not talking about Shopify, because Shopify has a million exit links. They can click on social media buttons and banners, and then they add all these things to their cart, and then there's like 5 steps to check out, and then they finally get there, and they're like, oh my God, my cart's too big, and then they just delete all the items and leave. It's a horrible mess. With a sales funnel, as we've been talking about it, it's a very streamlined process, okay? Very streamlined. They follow these steps and they complete each step as they go through, as we've been talking about through this entire training course, right? But what's amazing about e-commerce is that e-commerce products are very simple to sell, because you, like, unlike digital products or info products, like you usually have to convince people that they actually want to that specific course. Like if you, the guitar lesson one is a good example. In some cases, you might actually have to be like on the ad convincing people that they should learn how to play the guitar. You could say like, oh yeah, like you could be at the campfire with your girlfriend and impress your girlfriend at a campfire and just whip out like an acoustic guitar and start playing all these songs, right? And everyone will be super impressed, right? Like you have to like go through those stories and things like that, because a lot of people, they might not even know that they want to learn how to play guitar, right? Versus there's other people that they know they want to play guitar. They're in a totally different segment, right? They have more, they're closer to the purchase is what I'm trying to say. They know they want to learn how to play guitar, but they've pushed it off because it takes too long, or they've tried it before and it didn't work, whatever the case may be. But e-commerce is different. E-commerce is different because, for example, if I was trying to sell you this pen, right? Well, like, you know what it does. It writes things, okay? And you could craft this in any way that you want. You could write a better signature with this pen because it has this very unique gel and this and that, or it's really fancy, or it's made of gold, and you can press your, like your next client or something like that, okay? But the thing is, people know what they're getting. They're getting a pen, and the pen writes, okay? Whether it's a fancy pen or not a fancy pen, okay? There's nothing that you really need to explain, okay? It's a pen, it writes, okay? Also, the ads themselves, you can target a pen, okay? You can absolutely target pens. You can target Bic, who else? All the fancy pens out there. I don't know, like the gel pens and all the brand names you can target. I mean, if you are selling, like an iPhone case, you can target Apple. You can target, phone accessories. Okay? Like, it's very, very easy targeting. The thing is, if you are selling an iPhone case, you can target people, like selling, you can target people on Facebook ads that, literally, like you can literally click on iPhone accessories. Like, I know it's one of the targeting options. And then you run them to an iPhone product, right? Perfect targeting. iPhone people, iPhone case. Guess what? It's not very hard to sell. Like, it's perfectly aligned, okay? Where a guitar course might be a little bit trickier because maybe, for example, you have to build trust, respect, and rapport with that person. They have to know you're actually legit, that you actually could teach them something, right? Whereas if you're selling a pen, you're not teaching anything. You're just selling a pen. Like I hope this is making sense. I don't mean to elaborate, but hopefully like that's making sense. So what you usually do with an e-commerce product is this mess right here. Let me show you something really, really cool. Okay, and this is actually where I learned about the quantity order break discount. Now, the thing is, you do your ad, you do your opt-in, you do the VSL. Now on on the order page, okay, when you're selling your product, let's just say, to keep it easy, we're selling pens. I did a pen funnel. It did well. I think we did like $15,000 in gross sales. I think it was like, I don't know, like $6,000 to $7,000 in net profit after everything was said and done. I think it was, and that was like, once again, a 30-day test. They're just like the luggage tag. E-commerce is so easy, and this is what works really well. Now, before I get into what works really well, the only issue with e-commerce, once again, is that you have hard costs, right? There's COGS, cost of goods sold, right? So you have to pay for the product, you have to pay for shipping, you have to get it there, you have to package it, like all these things, right? So it's not as easy as info, but info is a little bit harder, all right? So the thing is, let's just say we're selling a pen, okay? We can make this very easy, but on that order page, what I always do, quantity order break discount. It's exactly how it sounds, exactly what it is. So we sell one pen for, actually, I'd probably do it a little bit different. I would do one pen for $5.99, okay? Whatever your pricing is, $5.99, okay? We do two pens, and so that would be six is 12. So I want it priced just under $12. I want to give them a little bit of a discount by buying more items. So instead of $12, we would do like $11.99, okay? Well, actually, we wouldn't do $11.99. We would do like, I don't know, $10.99. Like $1 off, right? And then we do 4 pens, okay? And what would be 11? So that'd be 22. So less than $22. So we would do $19.99, okay? And then I do 8 pens, okay? And for 8 pens, 20 is 40. So like under 40. So let's do like $32.99, okay? Make it very obvious that you're giving them a discount if they buy more. So I usually do 1, 2, 4, 8. And in some cases, depending on the product, I'll do 12. But pens make sense. So I'll say 12X pens, and I'll say case, right? Because it's like, oh, a case of pens, okay? So then I would, discount it even more, like whatever the math is. I don't know, just call it like $40 or something. You guys get the idea, okay? So, the thing is, so with e-commerce, this is key. I don't care what e-commerce product you're selling. It does not matter to me. Whatever it is, do this. If you want to do it this way. And in a lot of cases, you'll be like, well, Craig, like if I was selling lamps, like who the heck is going to be buying 12 lamps? Maybe not 12, but let's just say 8, like cut it off at 8. Like who on earth is going to buy 8 lamps? Guess what? You will have people buy 8 lamps. It is incredible. Almost no one takes that offer. Everyone takes these, primarily this 4X. I don't know what it is about the 4X. My 4X offers, those are the ones that hit the hardest. So always do this. Just whatever you're selling, just prove me wrong. I like somebody to prove me wrong. Tag me in the help desk and show me. And you watch now, we're going to have people that are like, oh, he was a liar. I proved him wrong. Guys, I'm just doing this to help you. You want to have quantity order break discount. And then, of course, the bumps, right? So I don't know what we're doing with this drawing here anymore, but we want the order bumps. If we're selling pens, what would the most logical thing be? What would the order bump be? If you guessed it, it's probably ink. I probably need ink, just like a freaking printer. You sell printers, well, you need ink. So you can play around with this. And I've done this funnel, actually, specifically this pen funnel. I used to drop ship these metal pens from AliExpress. I've been doing drop shipping way before it was cool, but this is when the whole AliExpress thing blew up and the Shopify thing. But I was cool because I used funnels because I knew this little trick that other people weren't doing. And that's how to get conversion rates. I was getting a conversion rate on my pen funnel by about 10 to 12%. 10 to 12% of all traffic that hit this opt-in right here, I got a 10 to 12% take rate, which is outrageous. That is outrageously high. Shopify, you're looking at like 1%, probably lower. Okay. And if you're lucky, I don't know, maybe 2%. Okay. I'm just Google it. What's conversion rate of Shopify? What's the conversion rate of a sales funnel? I dare you to Google that. And you will see very quickly the funnel always wins. It's because there's no exit links and it's very straight to the point and forward, and there's not a million products. I'm not going to elaborate more. But either way, what would the order bump be? Well, obviously ink, but not any kind of ink. I know this because this is my funnel. So what I would do on this order page here is I would do black ink, okay? And I would charge more for the ink than the pen. And the ink is actually cheaper than the pen. It's like, it's like you walk into like a Staples or something like an office supply store, you buy a printer and it's like $29.99, cheap garbage printer. Well, the freaking ink is like $89. It's like the biggest freaking joke ever. Like I hate buying printer ink. It's the dumbest thing ever. So I follow that model and it works so well for this model. I mean, if you guys are doing drop shipping, just copy this. It works so well. Ink, I remember this, $17.99. It's crazy. And these ink cartridges, I think I got like 10 of them, and this would be like 10X because it was a pack of 10 for $17.99. I get these things shipped to the States for like, I think it was like $1.99. It's insane markup. It's insane markup. And then what do we do next? 10x, you guessed it, blue ink. Now we sell blue ink. And guess what? $17.99. I played around with the prices. I just kept them the same. I would do that. And then I'd play around with like special editions. This is really interesting with e-commerce too, because you can actually get away with this. My OTO, so you could add other things like a third bump if you want, and I would recommend adding probably a third, especially if it's an e-commerce funnel. But once you get that, so once they buy and they go to the first, what kind of freaking arrow is that? Man, I just am sloppy when I get on this thing. OTO number 1, guys. Again, we're just going with e-commerce example. This is like the pen example. If you can get away with it, try going for a color variation and call it a special edition. That's what I did with this pen. So this was like this pen that I had up here. This was a gray. I called it the gunmetal pen. Okay, and it was I had a cool name for it, but it was a gunmetal pen. Also, use brand names. I don't know what I'm writing and talking at the same time. Try to use brand names too. Like call it something cool, like Unity. All right, I had a Unity pen. I didn't just call it a gunmetal pen. I called it the Unity pen. Okay, very cool. And I actually have a group now I call Unity. But it was a gunmetal pen. Where is my? Come on, eraser. Switch back. There we go. Gunmetal pen. Right. So that was just a gray pen. Like it was, it was a really sweet pen. But the OTO then. Well, what did I do on the OTO? Well, I had a special edition pen. And guess what? This was the blue metal pen. It was a blue metal pen. And guys, so I'm selling this pen for $5.99 here. Same price. Like if you go on AliExpress or whatever, there's like 70 different colors or whatever. Don't ever, by the way, don't ever sell colors or variations here. Do not ever do it here. Not ever. Do your colors and variations, break them down one by one. You're not trying to sell a million products. Just do one by one, okay? So what I did was I had a blue metal pen, okay? And I would call this something really awesome like Cobalt Master, I don't know, whatever I'm trying to say, but like something cool, like come up with a cool name. Go use Grok 3 or something like that and plug it in and find a cool name, okay? But here's the thing. I sold this pen right here for $49 for one, okay? So, and actually, oh man, I messed this up. Hold on. How long is this video going to be, guys? How long is this video? I hope some people are getting some value out of this. I hope I didn't lose too many people. I'm going to move this over here because that is actually OTO, usually OTO number 3, okay? This was actually OTO number 3. I would sell and I would actually go really far with this. I would go, I'd have lots of OTOs. So I'd do the blue metal pen and then I would do the pink, okay? And that one would be $49 as well because, maybe a girl or something was in there or a guy's buying it for his girl or like, I don't know, maybe the guy just likes pink. But so that would be these other OTOs. But here's the thing. On OTO 1, I totally goofed this. I meant to say this. OTO number 1, and this is pretty much all e-commerce products in general. You can't really do this with digital, but let me explain here. So if they bought one, like any of these multipliers here or any of the stuff, they finally come over to the one-time offer. What we want to do is sell. If you've been in e-commerce for any time, you've heard this before, but sell more of the same thing. So whatever that may be, and you have to kind of play around with it. But usually, for my pen offer, I know exactly what I did. I did a 4x. Come on, eraser. What's going on? There we go. I did 4 more pens, a 4x pen set, okay? And that included 2 inks, black ink, keep it simple, ink. And what else? I think I just did that. I might have thrown in like a bonus, like a little, it was like a 1 video, like how to sign your name. Yeah, that's what it was. It was a signature sign. It was basically like how to how to professionally sign your name. And it was just like this little like mini video. And I just learned how to do this like on YouTube. And then I just made my own little video, right? And it was just like a bonus. So it was just like, it was like a 5-minute video, literally. And so what you want to do is you look at this price, the 4X pen, and how much would that cost? So you come over here and it would be $20 for the pens, right? and the 2X black is, you know, we just call it like roughly, you know, in that same, let's call it $10 because it's a little bit, you're only getting 2. Or actually we could do 10. Actually, I was doing 10 because that's how many they would ship. Like there was no less than 10. So you get 10 black ink, 4 pen sets, and then the bonus, right? So that'd be $20 plus $18, right? So 20, 30, 8 would be about 38, and then the bonus, okay? So you could then say like, oh, it has a value of $97 because of this bonus right here. What the F was that? What's going on here? I'm having problems tonight. Come on. Because of the bonus, it increases the perceived value. You could say it's 97, but no, you're not going to pay 97. If you act right now and you pick this thing up, you're only going to pay, and just all you have to do is just keep it lower than this price. So instead of 20, 38, we're at 38. So just bring it down. Say it's you know, come on. Say they can pick it up for $19.99. Okay, we'll double the order for $19.99. You could also do a downsell, right? You could downsell that if they don't take the $19.99 and they say no to that, then you downsell it for $9. You know, I don't know, whatever your prices are. You could say $9.99. You could say, I know I did a lot of $12.99s. You know, again, like if you're only paying $1.99 here and you're only paying like $1.99 here, you know, so your COGS is like $4, like maybe $5 shipped, maybe $5 shipped. It's $5 shipped and you're still pulling $12.99. I mean, you know, you have a profit, right? You have a nice profit, and it's just like you're already shipping the thing out, so you might as well just throw in the more pens, right? And just that's a perfect upsell. OTO number 2, usually what I would do is I would just have this. So you could do the downsell if you want, but I usually have it, and I would just say, you know, add 2 more. Just literally just add 2 more. Same offer, 10x black, ink, whatever, and then like if you want to do a bonus or whatever, usually I just left it at that because I don't want to spend more time building all that out. But the thing is that this it's so funny, like, you know, that 2x, you know, and then I basically would just take half of this price. So then I would do, instead of $19.99, I just did $9.99. You know how easy this I mean, this thing was probably hitting at 30%. Like they came in, they're like, oh, I'm just gonna buy 1 pen, and they come out with 4 pens. They come out with a black ink. They take this. This one is very high too, usually 20 to 30%. Even, you know, just because it's the first OTO. Boom, makes the sale, and then makes the sale, and then they come over here and they're like, think they're done, and then sure enough, oh, do you want the limited edition blue pen? They're like, oh crap, like I love this blue pen. Look at how amazing this is. And then, oh man, my girl, she's gonna want this pink pen. Blah blah blah. You know, and then guys, take them to the thank you page. Once they get to the thank you page, as we said before. We're really going hard on this e-commerce here because I had a lot of fun building all these back in the day. But you go to the thank you page, you're like, oh, thank you for checking out. Here's your receipt, and guess what? Guess what's down here? It's another offer, but it is the special editions in a bundle, okay? So now they get in this offer right here, and we're just selling it, you know, selling them again. You get 4x blue pens, you get 4x pink pens, you get 10x black ink, you get 10x blue ink, right? And you can get all of that for I don't know, $79. I try to go, what was that? Oh man, $79, right? And then, you know, you could play around with your numbers or whatever, but that is how you do e-commerce. And like, again, like I want this, you know, you can use a lot of these principles for if you're selling info as well. Like now you actually see what the quantity order break discount is and how you can use it to your advantage. And you can use this with info, right? You can use this with info, but you gotta be very careful with info because it could backfire. Like it has to be, like courses work really good because you can quantify, like in a quantity level, you can quantify course videos. Like you get 1 video, 3 videos, 7 videos. You can quantify templates. You want just 1 template, or do you want 5 templates, or do you want 10? And then you get a discount, right? If you buy more, right? So you can do that. You can't do that with all offers, obviously with info, but try, like if you can, play around with it, test it out. A lot of marketers these days would probably, at least especially my copyright know-it-alls, they would argue the quantity order break discount on info, but I use it and I have good results with it, and I would recommend at least testing it. Okay. Next, a couple categories left: retail, local small business. Now, look, there are many ways and many different businesses out there to, get leads coming into your retail or your local small business, whatever it may be. It could be, some of you guys are in real estate. Some of you guys sell t-shirts. Some of you guys own a massage therapy studio. Some of you are, I don't know, an attorney or something like that. Okay. Whatever the case may be, you need to come up and you need to figure out what kind of small mini offer that you can sell with your SLO funnel. Okay. Whatever that may be. Okay. And I'm going to sit here for a little bit and try to brainstorm some stuff with you and try to give you some examples. But I'll be honest, like sometimes it can get kind of tricky. Like if you're an attorney, for example, and you're like, well, what can I sell for $7? I'm an attorney. Well, first off, you should probably join Funnel Visions so that you can hop on a call every single week and we can work on this together to try to figure out what product that you might want to sell, and like we can brainstorm some ideas, let alone get the thing optimized and working. I mean, all of you should probably do that, because then you would save time and money, and we get your offer launched a lot faster than a year. And we could get it launched this week, right? Shameless pitch. How dare I? But look, like if you're an attorney or in one of these doctor, a dentist, something like that, you want to, essentially, if you want foot traffic, if you want people coming in, try to give away a small product, right? And this might even be an e-commerce product. I had a bonsai client that sold bonsai plants, right? These like fancy, expensive plants are like this tall and they're like $300. Really fancy things, okay? Well, our big idea to create the SLO for his business was we would sell a very small bonsai plant, right? And this was I don't remember exactly how it all worked, but essentially you would cut off like a part of this plant and then it would like regrow in the pot and everything. So essentially it was very simple. It was a $7 product, and they would get just this tiny little plant guy, right? A little pot that was like 20 cents, and some of the not soil, but it was like the special like bonsai soil or something like that. And that was like a little package, and it worked very well. Once we, decided to for the OTO offer, or not the OTOs, the order bumps, it's like, oh, do you not want the regular pot, like the little clay pot that it comes in? Get an actual like authentic bonsai pot that is made for bonsai plants, and it's all fancy and it's clay, and it's like a fired clay pot kind of thing, right? And it's all fancy, right? You could, get your upgrade there on the order bump. And then it's like, oh, do you want the fancy soil? Well, you could get that on the order bump too. And then like once they buy that and they go to the OTO, then it's just like, hey, do you want 2 more of those bonsai plants, right? And we'll even throw in the fancy ceramic pots and the fancy soil, and you get all of that for half the price that you just paid for the other one, right? Same thing that we just did with the e-commerce funnel, right? Same exact thing, right? And obviously it's an e-commerce product, but that's how you would do it locally. And here's the thing: if you are local, you can run local ads to that local offer and have the customer come into your store and pick it up. So you don't even have to package it. It's just like they're walking into your store, right? It's like you don't have to ship. I mean, you could ship it, right? But obviously, like then you have a logistics thing, and you have to figure out how to do the logistics. And I mean, you could hire obviously an employee if you really want to scale this thing, and then they package it up and ship it out and whatever. Or you just do some AliExpress stuff, or however you guys want to do it. But my recommendation, which was for this company, was they would then come to the store and pick it up. But the thing that the customer doesn't know is that they're just walking in the store, and you're like, oh, you ordered this? Let me look you up. Oh, yep, Sally ordered 4 potter plants, this, and this, right? You have the invoice sitting right there. You just go throughout your store, go grab all the stuff, and then check her out. Boom. Like, isn't that like, or you just hand it to her, mark the invoice. She already paid, obviously. So you collect the money up front, which liquidates on your ads, liquidates your ads, and then now you have her in the store. Well, guess what you do when she's in the store? Well, guess what? We have these other bonsai plants. This one costs $300, but wow, like look at this thing. Wouldn't that look nice on your front porch? Or wouldn't this look nice as a gift for, Sally's birthday party coming up, right? Or wouldn't this look great for your restaurant? Like that's how I want you guys thinking, okay? And that's what this whole video is about. This is to figure out and to brainstorm together what products we could be putting into our front end offers to break even on ads and get unlimited free traffic forever and ever and ever to sell higher ticket products, because that is where all of the money is made. In that back end, right? Selling the big, more expensive bonsai plants, getting that person to come back into our store. And better yet, this is a great example is, not only, people think like the info products, the courses, the consulting, all of those digital info products, like that is your storefront, right? You want foot traffic coming back to your storefront over and over and over again. It's the same thing with like if you own like a retail store, right? You want people knowing who you are, trusting you, trust, respect, and rapport. It's the exact same thing. Now, it's much easier to get that trust, respect, and rapport if you own a local small business or a storefront. It's actually much, much easier. And the reason for it is you don't necessarily need like a whole course or anything. I mean, you could do that, and we did that for this guy, but you don't need a whole course. You just need people to we had people all the time that would say, oh, I didn't even know that this nursery, this tree nursery was even here, right? It's like, it's stuffed away on the side of kind of a highway in the corner. No one could see it from the road. But now that we're running paid ads and we're breaking even on those ads, now we have people coming in for free because we're breaking even on our funnel. And now they know us, trust us, and respect us because they met us face to face. We walked them through some of the plants, some of the offers that we have. We talk about like fancy soil, and we know our craft. So all you have to do is just do your thing at your store. You don't there's really no maintenance then. Guys, for retail and local small business, knock it out of the park. Like get those people to come into your store and know where your location is, and then they can tell friends and family. It just snowballs. I love working with retail and local small business. And better yet, one last thing, just a little tip to throw out there too. If you own a local business or a retail location, Facebook ads specifically are so much easier because you can target a very specific location, as you probably know if you've ever done this before, and I'll show you. We have a whole video on local actually for Facebook. But you can target your area, let's just say a 20, 30 mile radius, depending on if you're driving to them or they're driving to you. But we can target that, and inside of the ad, we say, hey, local Tampa bonsai enthusiasts, come get your free plant, or I wouldn't. Obviously, we're not going to say it that way, but you could say free bonsai plant Tampa or whatever the location is. Or we don't even have to say Tampa, but we're targeting Tampa, let's just say, and it says free bonsai plant. And then they go through, they buy everything, and then they say, hey, you can pick it up locally if you want, save time and save cost and shipping, There you go. And then you could offer a coupon. Like I could just keep going all day with this, but essentially we're trying to get people in at break-even costs. And it's way the heck better than doing billboards, which you have no trust, respect, and rapport. There's no tracking. It's really expensive. It takes forever. You have to sign long-term agreements and stuff. Like forget all that mess. Last one is SaaS. Now, look, just like all these other things, SaaS can be a complicated thing because there's so many different solutions SaaS solves. But with SaaS, once again, most of the time, you are going to probably be SaaS usually is a direct solution to a problem. Almost 9.9 times out of 10, it's a direct solution to a problem. Like it's probably 10 out of 10, honestly. So if you look at any of the SaaS players, and you guys, you probably already know this, but courses are probably going to be your best friend. And same thing, not necessarily consulting, but getting people on the phone and selling them a high ticket package. Okay, so it's really the same thing that I've been talking about with the info courses. They're actually, these two are like literally exactly the same. Whatever, if you have to replay this video to figure out what this freaking crazy mess is, but it's the same thing. Like for SaaS, and I'll just draw it up here. For SaaS, I mean, again, it's everything that we already drew up, but what you're really pushing in SaaS is trying to get somebody on the phone, right? So if you have an opt-in, an ad, social, traffic, just any traffic source, whatever, goes to your opt-in page, right? We get them, we exchange something for free. Well, what can we give away for free? Well, think about it. Like we possibly could do like the 14-day free trial model. But the thing is that almost is like, that's too much of a commitment. Okay. A 14-day free trial on an opt-in is too much of a commitment, I think. They don't have trust. They don't have respect. They don't have rapport. So don't do that. Instead, what we want to do is talk about like over here, like this would be like your back end, right? And like we've talked about a little bit about back ends already. But if your back end is your core product, okay? Your back end is your core product, okay? Which is your SaaS, your software as a service. If I didn't, some of you watching that don't know what SaaS is, software as a service. So if you're selling a software, you want it back here, okay? And even if it's only like a, I don't know, like a $20 a month package, this could potentially be, I don't know what I'm doing here. This, like this mess. This could potentially be viewed as a high ticket product, even though it's only like $20 to $100 a month because it's recurring. It's a little bit harder to sell because people are like, oh, geez, like I don't want to sign up for another monthly thing. Even if you have a really easy way to cancel anything, people don't like signing up for a monthly thing unless it solves a very, very big problem, okay? So think about what your core offer sells and essentially make a mini product that solves a solution with a free product, okay? And then a paid product, and obviously like the $7 product, right? So whatever free thing that you could sell here, but don't do the software. Don't try giving away 14-day free trials on the ad. Don't even think about it. You can, and you can waste a lot of money, and then let's just say your CPA, the cost to acquire a customer. The cost to acquire a customer, selling a software on the front, even if it's, let's just say it's a $97 product. I just know this because I have ran so many different SaaS offers. $97 a month package. Your CPA, you're looking at least, I would say $200 to acquire at minimum. I'd probably say it's probably more like $200 to $500. Maybe not $500, $200 to $400. Let's just say $200 to $400. Okay, that means that you have to spend between $200 and what's going on my pen here, $200 to $400 just to get somebody to pay you once, which you probably still have a 14-day free trial in there too, to get a $97 order. That means you're losing then $100 for every single person that comes in, and it takes you then. That would take you then, because it's 200 minus 100, so that means it would take you 2 months to break even. That's a problem because you can't scale that unless you got, like you can if you got money and if you have like, a giant credit card, you got bank loans, you got investors, whatever. This is what the big companies do, right? Like, if you're a big box store or something like that, they can go in the red. 6 months, like, what would it be like alarm companies do this. Who else does this? There's plenty. Netflix I'm sure does this. Like any of the big companies, right? They can go in the red by like 6 months. They can go like negative 6 months. They can spend, let's just say they can spend where I'm losing my mind here. So $400. Let's just say it costs $400 to acquire a customer. And, let's just say they want 10,000 customers, okay? Well, that's a whole lot of cash. That's a whole lot of cash that you're fronting, okay? And you have to wait 6 months, let's say 2 to 6 months to get that cash back. That's a lot of front-end cash. That's why we build SLO funnels, okay? It's not for the poor. It's not for the poor. I'm not saying that. I'm just... Like who wants to wait 6 months to break even, to even see results, let alone you don't even know if it works yet. So you would never want to do that, even testing a product, okay? So don't do it that way, okay? And that goes for all this stuff down here, okay, guys? So with SaaS, look, like I'm trying to think of some examples here. Maybe Canva would kind of be like an interesting idea. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like some good like freebie things, like whatever your product or service sells. Again, try to come up with something that is free. How about this? We could go back to the course model. Like I think I was talking about that before. So like let's just say that I don't know. It's how to, we could use Canva. Let's use Canva for an example. Okay. So Canva, and you guys know who Canva is, like Photoshop, right? So if I was selling the Canva like $25 a month package or something, and that's my core offer, okay? That's my core. Okay, I'm not selling that on the front, but what I would do is I would make a 3-video mini course. I just, when I get on this thing, I swear guys, like everything is better when I'm not recording, talking, thinking all at the same time, and writing, and also trying to figure out what I'm going to say next. I'm so much better at writing on this thing. It's funny. A 3x course. I say 3x like 3-video course. It's a 3x video course in how to, I don't know, like pick your poison. It's like how to create high converting IG ad, or post, or like whatever it may be, okay? And it would just be like a 3-video course, right? And like very simply, you could just see like, okay, and not to go further into this, but I've talked about the research, and this is in a video, in a previous video, but researching your market, right? Going into Facebook ads library and going and seeing what your market is doing. So what you want to do is, if you were Canva, go find all your competitors using Facebook ads library and filter it by like, whoever's been running ads for at least 6 months or more, or 3 months, or, just several months at a time, because no one is wasting money on ads if their product isn't selling, right? And go see what they're doing. Go see like how they're bringing people in. It's going to be mixed batches. Like some are going to be silly and do it this way because they're big companies, right? Trying to sell their core product on the front end. But others, you'll find the front end products and what they're doing, and then go make a product very similar, okay? That's a really good piece of advice for all of these, okay? So that being said, I would, let's just say, again, like I'm making this hypothetical here, if I was selling Canva, it would be like a 3x course on something that is very hot and in demand. And I know, just because I run so many ads, that I know a very hot and in demand thing is specifically teaching people how to create ads and create posts using the Canva software, okay? So what you could very easily do is, if you see there's a lot of people with lots of shares and likes, and the ads have been running for a very long time, and that is essentially just teaching people how to make ads and posts for specifically Instagram, well, you just show them how to create ads and posts, but using your software, demoing your software, but actually creating an end product. So on the front, for your SaaS product, you're not necessarily selling the software. You're just showing them how to create. Once again, I don't know what I'm doing here. You're showing them, actually, I'll go down here. You're showing them how to create the end product. So, which would be an Instagram ad, okay? And how to do that with your software, but you don't even have to pitch the software. You're just showing them, like, that's the free thing. This is how you make this is how you make an Instagram ad or an Instagram post. And by the way, use this software because it does this, this, and this. And look, if you own a SaaS and you are like a Canva competitor or something, you better believe that like you have a big competitor over there. So obviously your software does all these other things way, way, way better than Canva. And inside of that free thing, you could explain why it's so much better than Canva, especially for making your Instagram ads, right? So that'd be the free thing that I'd give away. And then, like I'm just, we could have, this obviously, wow, this obviously would be the VSL part. And that's where it'd be the video where we're explaining how to do this, right? And then after that VSL, sure enough, or inside of this VSL, at that point, I would want you to try this 2 different ways. First off, I would want you at this point to test the core offer with. I probably do this is where I would throw like a free trial. I would play around with the idea. I would test this first, like a 7-day free trial for the SaaS, right? For the core product. Try that, run that for like, let's just say, like a week or 2, at least run it through like the $100 ad test, like I was talking about before. Run $100 in ads to it and see if you can get any signups, right? If you get signups, then you might have some legs there, and it might be a good thing to pursue. But another thing, if that doesn't work, because again, it's very hard to get that commitment, even if it's free, even if it's for 7 days, even if they're just not quite warm enough yet, because this is only one video. If you ran them through the 5X video, series, that 5X video series. Siri's listening to me. Stop. Go away. If you run through that free funnel they give away, which is the 5X warm-up series, you could run them through video 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go to the SaaS. That would do very well. But the problem is when you send people to that, there is no order page, right? So you can't break even on ads. So you're actually losing money then, and you're going to liquidate your ad cost on the actual SaaS core product that you're trying to sell. So that's kind of the issue if we do that 7-day free thing. That's kind of the issue with that. So I would still test it just to see what kind of numbers you can get, because maybe you could get it under that $97 or whatever the price tag is, and you just liquidate on month 1 if you're good with that. But really, look, like if they're interested in Instagram ads, right, and creating Instagram ads or Instagram posts very easily with this new and upcoming software, well, why don't you just sell them like a little mini course like we've been doing, right? I can't even write anymore, guys. I'm just going to put C for course. Sell a mini course, once again, as we've been talking about, for $7. And this little mini course is like 3 to 5 videos, how to make very high quality Instagram posts and ads, right? Or whatever, obviously, whatever thing that your software does. Have an expert in the industry and just explain in the video, hey, I'm an expert. This is like what we do. Like this guy spent $1 million in ads, blah, 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 blah. And here's a $7 product. Try to get that $7 product and do it that way. And then when you sell this or the free thing, right, they then would go, I'm running out of room here. They then would go to the course, like when they start watching the course, and have them consume the course. Okay, and again, we do that with email. We do that. I mean, we could just send them there and like hope that they watch it, but usually we need an email sequence that just says like, hey, on day 1, we're gonna learn how to create your very first Instagram ad. Day 2, get another email. Hey, we're gonna learn how to do whatever the case may be. Like, right, like this is how you create headlines, right? Day 3. Again, I'm like running out of breath or something. I can't even write. Day 3. This is how to use like AI to like, write your copy, that kind of thing. Okay. And then of course we could do OTOs, would be like, I would probably still do like add-ons. Like now that you know how to do Instagram ads, like your OTOs, I'm running out of room. OTO 1 would be, now that you know how to do Instagram ads, well, this is how you do TikTok ads, right? Right, or something like that, like you get the idea. You want to keep it similar, but the one thing that you do not want to do with these OTOs, and I don't know if I've explained this on other videos, but this is very, very important. When you are selling, like after they buy the $7 product, okay, on the sales page or sales/order page, when they buy this, you want to make sure, you have to be very, very careful of this. And usually it happens in info, almost always info. But if you're selling, I don't know, like once again, like if you're selling like an Instagram, like how to make Instagram ads, okay? How to make Instagram ads. This OTO right here, you do not, a big mistake would be like, hey, now that you know how to make Instagram ads, like this is how you make, like you need this extra thing. Like do not make it like, oh, and by the way, now that like inside, like the Instagram ads package, it didn't include, like these 3 other videos that you're now gonna need, and like you're basically like leaving something out just to upsell them. That'll piss a lot of people off. So I'm trying to think of some examples here. Like I don't know, maybe like if you left out like 3 core videos, which was actually like showing how to create the headlines, how to actually write the copy. So like if you left these 2 out and you're like, oh, now that you know how to make Instagram ads, but I'm leaving out the headlines and the copy and basically everything that the person thought they were going to learn, that would really piss a lot of people off. Do not do that. You will lose the sale. You will lose all the trust, all the respect, all the rapport. It goes down the tubes, and no one is buying that core product. Holy freaking moly, guys! Holy freaking moly! Let's bring this back to FaceTime and get the heck out of here. Guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Again, like this one was a doozy once again, but I hope you got a lot of value out of this. And again, like that's why I could chop these up and do like a million videos, but I don't want you clicking through and getting lost and everything. You know, look, like at the end of the day, these videos are, I just lost my video feed. That's how long I've been talking. I lost my video feed. I hope that wasn't happening this whole time. So we're just going to cut this video really quick. But again, like, thank you guys for hopping in here. This is why I don't use DSLR cameras, because usually something like that happens. My camera overheats because I talk so much. So I'm just going to cut it there. If you guys have any questions about this, hit me up in the help desk group. And if you are looking for this funnel and haven't picked this funnel up yet, you know, hop on the sales page. Click the link below. That'll take you to my sales page. You can pick up all the funnel templates so you can actually put this thing together and build one of your own. Once again, like, just take my stuff out and put your stuff in. It's actually that simple. Like, it literally is that simple. Like, if you have a product that you want to sell online, this is how you do it. So you might as well just get the templates. You already have the course, the whole master course. Grab yourself the templates. Click that link below. You've been learning from the guy here that talks about $7 offers. So lo and behold, it's only $7. So got nothing to lose, no risk. And of course, a 30-day money back if you want that cup of coffee back. And you're like, Craig, I cannot go without Starbucks today. Could you please refund my money? And I absolutely will. I'm not holding anyone hostage. Guys, I hope it's been fun, and I hope you learned some things. Again, if you have any questions, hit me up in the help desk group, and I hope to see you inside of the next video.